Hello, hello. So where were we? Let's see. Okay, so we've done the intro, and now we're going to apply this picking pattern, this Travis picking pattern, to the chords. And the chords G, C, and I'm going to play it as C add 9. And because my thumb is going between the bass note of the chord and the open G string, when I play a G and when I play a C add 9, I'm not going to use my first finger as well because I don't need to. So we've got the chords G, C, which I'll play as C add 9. Sometimes I'll play it as normal C, we'll get to that. D, and G, C, and D takes care of the first half of each verse. Let's call it a verse. And there's an E minor in there somewhere as well. I want you to think in terms of eight bars, because this thing is structured in terms of 8 bars. So we've got 4 bars of G at first. So we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4. That's 4 bars, yeah? So you got that at first, and you notice that beat 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4. I moved the bass note. So I briefly did basically C add 9, yeah? Because it just gives it some variation. So we got 4 bars of G with that variation on the bass note. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4. Then you've got a bar of C, and you can play it as C add 9 or normal C. A bar of D, and then 2 bars of G. And that's your 8-bar segment, yeah? And that repeats. And then what happens? And at some point, I'm doing this from memory, and I don't know it well, so if I make a mistake, sorry. Oh, then you got this bit. My little fish, I'm laughing because my aunt's dancing. I'm going to turn the camera around when she's not, when she doesn't realise. Okay, now, I won't get the exact timing now because she's made me forget. But I will get the basic, what's it called? The basic spirit of it. So when it comes into that little fish part, you've got a different chord progression. It starts on a C. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4. 2 bars on C, 2 bars on G. Then I think you got a bar on C, a bar on D, and then it takes you up to a bar on E minor. Yeah, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2 bars on E minor. And then again you have my little fish. 1 bar, 2 bars, sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, G, 2, 3, 4. And then you got the wrap up. Da 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 da. So that was 1 bar of C, 1 bar of D, and then 2 bars of G. Yeah? Okay, so that's the structure of this thing. On the whole, because even when you had this bit, my little fish bit, you had 2 bars of C, 2 bars of G, which gives you 4 bars, and then 1 bar of C, 1 bar of D, 2 bars of E minor, that gives you 8 bars. Then you get a repeat, more or less, 2 bars of C, 2 bars of G, then you got, so that's 4. 1 bar of C, that's 5. 1 bar of D, that's 6, and then 2 bars of G as you're coming home. Yeah, you resolve, and then that makes 8 bars. Now you were saying, actually, I'll leave that video here, and then I'll start a second one with the bit that you were saying about Polly. The what does she do in the wailing part, as you put it? But actually, before we get to that, which is linked to that. You hear the bass doing a bass line. So there's a moving bass, and I mean that in terms of music theory rather than emotionally, although it is moving. But the guitar player's doing a G. That's another point. She's got two guitar players, right? One is playing normal, without a capo and chords down here. She, from what I've seen in performance and from what it sounds like on the record, she's got a capo on somewhere. I think it's the 5th fret, and then I don't know what she's playing, and it would take quite a while to work out. And I think she's also in altered tuning, so we can do a good version without that, okay? But we can incorporate the bass line that moves when the guitar is just playing a G, yeah? Because we got those 4 bars of G at first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. I was doing a little bit of it when I went to that C note and back, yeah? Later on in the verses you hear da 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 da. So, what was that? That was, I was playing my G, yeah? And like I said, I'm not even using the first finger to play my, my G. I've just got root note down here and 3rd and 4th finger on the top 2 strings. Now, my picking pattern, yeah, the Travis picking, I apply it to each chord. And I forgot to say that, sorry. I apply it to each chord. 2 fingers stay on the same 2 strings, top 2 strings for each chord. The thumb is going to move from the bass note of the chord to the open G string. So when it's a G chord, it'll go from the E string to the G string. When it's a C chord, from the A string to the G. And when it's a D chord, from the D string to the D. From the D string to the G string, yeah? So that's on a G, that's on a C, or that type of C, and that's on a D, yeah? So the thumb going from the bass note of the chord, that is the lowest note of the chord, to the open G string. Okay? So then to add bass lines in, when we're playing those, to get back to my point about incorporating the bass line that you hear in the song on the actual album track, there's our Travis picking. Okay, this is a normal G, yeah? Then I'm gonna, which way is best? This or this? So basically, I'm playing a G, keeping my fingers 3 and 4 there to keep the sound of G. Got the root note, G, 3rd fret, low E string. That's an open A string, and that's A string 2nd fret, which of course is in a G chord, yeah? It's the note B and it's in a G chord. So I've basically gone G, A, B, and I've done that bass line whilst keeping the Travis picking pattern going. Always keep this going, because that keeps you in time. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... So that was my 4 bars of G. Then, so basically I had G, briefly G over A, and then G over B for longer. And then it's going to move up to, yeah, you could call this G over C, but it's not. It's C add 9. A bar of that, and then a bar of D. Yeah? So, and this is a technique that's used, widely to make things more interesting. Incorporating a bass line into your Travis picking or picking pattern, whatever picking you're doing. But you keep the picking pattern going. And then you move that bass line around. Okay, hope that helps. And then I'll get on to the wailing bit, as you put it.